Darth Maul just wrapped up a 5-issue series. This is set to show us just how much he really hated the Jedi Order with the whole bloodlust for them and all that. Maul finds a young Padawan in an auction of all places to fight that has a skill that feels strong with the dark side. This takes place before the Phantom Menace. Again, it's a great 5-issue series, only $19.95 plus tax. If you're truly a fan of Star Wars, you won't be disappointed at all. So I would definitely go check out this comic book. Again, this is, just wrapped up, so it might trade back is definitely for sure to come out. That probably will be around the same price range. So it's really up to you. You can go buy the issues or you can just wait for the trade to come out. But it will come out. So definitely, if you got a chance, just talk to your local comic book store to see when this trade back is coming out or if they still have the issues in stock. Alright, up next, we're going to move on over to Image. Youngblood is 3 issues in, and we find our heroes in a new world where heroes are retired. Some still try to help. After one has been kidnapped and there is a new team assembled, come to find out the government, mainly the president, who used to be an old member of this team, is letting them use the name, but under their watch, obviously. This is a new story for me, especially out of the DC and Marvel universe, so I definitely would give it a read. It's Image Comics, and Image Comics has some really good titles, but I mainly stick to this one, and I think about 2 other ones. But this one right here is 3 issues in, and it's great. If you go pick up in the original, older Youngblood, you'll see what I'm talking about. But this gives us a more fresh and new modern day team. Now, 3 issues in, with the 4th one soon to come out. It's only it's only $11.97 plus tax. Again, like I said, this is an Image comic book, and it won't let you down because Image has some really good comics. But up next, we're going to move on over to Marvel. Inhumans vs. X-Men. This was a crossover event that had to do with the X-Men and the Inhumans, obviously, right? Well, this had to do with a Terrigen mist cloud that pretty much was killing off all the mutants and giving humans the ability. And because the killing off the mutants from this Terrigen cloud, it's pretty much the reason why the Inhumans and the X-Men were fighting one another. Now, this is only about 8 issues, and there are tie-ins, but you really only just need the main storyline. They'll reference a couple of things that might have happened in a tie-in issue, but it's mainly just the storyline. Now, this storyline ended about, or story arc actually, ended about 6 to maybe under 5 months ago, so trade back should definitely be out soon. I enjoyed it for what it was, and maybe you might as well too. Now, there will be a little bit more confusing stuff, especially when I start talking about X-Men Gold and X-Men Blue, but pretty much it was at a time where Fox owns the X-Men as far as making the movies, and whatever they sell for merchandise, they get the profit of it, and Marvel gets a little bit. So I can understand why Marvel was trying to pretty much essentially get rid of the X-Men and letting the Inhumans be their replacements. But again, there's a whole lot of confusing things going on with it, but you might enjoy it. So yeah, that's the Inhumans versus X-Men's or X-Men, and you'll definitely like it. But how about we stay on the same line with Marvel? And next up, we'll be talking about Secret Warriors. Secret Warriors is a tie-in to the Secret Empire, and the roster for this is filled with Inhumans trying to find a kid that is to be believed an Inhuman that can help them to fight back. 4 issues in, and each story gives us a where were you when the world came to an end. And I like how they traveled this new Hydra nation to get help from the X-Men that not so long ago they were just getting out of a war with them, as I said previously. And the ending of this 4 issue right now will leave you with questions. But this is a must-get book. It's really great to really see the outside, and everybody's just trying to get, fight back with Captain America and the new Hydra Nation. And pretty much, if you've been following any of or watching any of my Hop-In issues, you'll know that when it comes to Marvel, this is the main talked about story because this is something that's been going on. This is their big event outside of the New Generations, which pretty much started on July 2nd. So yeah, this is a great book to read. You won't be lost. It has not really a big major tie-in, at least not yet during this recording, but definitely you should go pick up a comic book. Right now it's only $15.96 plus tax, and you won't be wasting your time or your money with it. So definitely go to your local comic book store and ask about the Secret Warriors. Alright, so pretty much we got to talk about Darth Maul and how he just wrapped up a 5-issue series. We got to really see just how much he really hated the Jedi Order. And I mean, good night. I mean, it was vicious. A very great read. And especially for those fans who are Star Wars fans and really loved Darth Maul in the first episode of Star Wars, this is definitely the comic book for you. Now we got to talk about Youngblood and how this is a new story arc from something that started, I want to say early 2000s, maybe the 1990s, but Youngblood is definitely a good comic book. You won't waste your time reading it, and we get a new fresh take on something outside of Marvel and DC, especially for myself. This is an Image comic book, so if you go to your local comic book store and you ask them about Youngblood, I'm telling you guys won't be disappointed. So definitely go there and check this out. Then we got to talk about Inhumans versus the X-Men. It was a big battle that happened, and like I said before, you only need to read the 8 issues. That's really, the main storyline, the main comic. I mean, the tie-ins, they do reference a couple of things, but it's mainly the main storyline that you need to read, and it's a great read for what it was. Again, it was at a time where Marvel was trying to get rid of the X-Men because Fox owns the rights to, not at a time, but Fox still owns the X-Men. So they did a little bit of this, a little bit of that to die down the X-Men. But this is a great read, and like I said before, the trade back should be out soon. So definitely go to the comic book store and see if the trade is already out. If the trades aren't out, maybe you can ask and see if you can get the issues, because it was a good story line for what it was. And now, last but definitely not least, we got to talk about Secret Warriors. Now, as I've been saying before, like in my previous videos, ever since I started Hop-In issues, that pretty much Marvel has been building up this now story event that has to do with Secret Empire, and it's pretty much the big story right now until, well, it's now August, so the Generations and the other story arc that's already out for Marvel, but pretty much right now this is still a summer event for Marvel, and it's Secret Empire. But Secret Warriors is pretty much a side story for trying to find this Inhuman that can help us go attack Captain America, who is for some odd reason working or leading the Hydra group and company. So this is definitely a good comic book. It's, like I said, 4 issues, and it's pretty much saying, where were you when the nation came down to what it is now? And you get 4 different point of views of where this person was, like Miss Marvel, where she was and how she had to deal with certain things. And then we got to deal with Quake and where she was and how she started the mission, and now we see definitely where they are right now. I'm waiting. I definitely can't wait for issue 5 to come out. I think it's coming out this week, this Wednesday coming up. And if it is, you'll definitely see it in my weekly pool. Alright, so yeah, definitely. These 4 comic books were great. I enjoyed doing this content. Also, I have another video that I posted up. It will be up here somewhere. Pretty much where I went to the comic book store and I showed you the comic books that I picked up for this week, and also what the comic books that were on the rack that I probably don't read, or probably something you might like to read, and I showed it to you guys. So definitely go check out that video that will be up on here, and stay tuned, because on Wednesday, like I said before, there's always new comic books coming out on Wednesdays. So I will be at the comic book store, and I will have a video for you then that I will be posting probably Wednesday night. And you might get it Thursday morning or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so definitely go check out that video and stay tuned for more content to come out. And this is something I normally don't do or ask, but I figured why not. Pretty much, if you feel as though this video deserves a like, please like it, share it with your friends. Maybe you might know somebody who likes comic books, and maybe they don't know which comic books that they could pick up, and tell them to go definitely check out my previous videos. Hop in with issues 1 through 7, and also subscribe to the channel for more content. As I said before, this is not the only video I do. I also talk about motorcycles and how to get into the motorcycle world. So even though this is talking about comic books, and you can comment in the comment section below and ask me a couple of things about motorcycles that you may not know, and I definitely will be happy to do a video on that. Also, go to the comic book stores and show you what's on the rack, and hopefully down the line there will be more content added onto the show. So again, I've been Kev, you've been you. Let's stay in tune.